Welcome to another fantasy series written by Oracle 1. Frostlight. Episode 2. White Flames, Black Ice. The pain did not fade. It settled. That was worse. Lyriel woke on cold stone, her breath coming in shallow bursts, her entire body humming with a foreign pulse that did not belong to her. For a moment, she thought the duel had not ended, that she was still trapped in that violent convergence of frost and fire. Then she saw the ceiling. Stone. Arched. Familiar. The collegiate infirmary. She tried to sit up. Pain answered instantly, sharp, immediate, echoing through her ribs as if something inside her resisted the movement. "No," she hissed. "Stay down." The voice came from across the room. Kale. Of course it was. Lyriel turned her head slowly. He lay on a cot opposite hers, propped halfway upright, his expression tight but alert. Bandages wrapped his arms, though faint embers glowed beneath the cloth, seeping through like stubborn light. "You look worse than I feel," he added. Lyriel almost snapped back. Almost. Then she noticed it. His breath. Each exhale carried a faint mist, like cold air. Her stomach twisted. "You feel it too," she said. Kale didn't smile this time. "Yeah," he muttered. "Hard to miss." He lifted his hand. Flame flickered to life in his palm. Then faltered. Turned pale. Shifted. Froze. The fire solidified into a jagged, translucent shard, glowing faintly from within. Kale stared at it, then crushed it in his fist. It shattered into frost-dusted sparks. "White flames," he said quietly. Lyriel swallowed. She raised her own hand. Frost answered, but it came slower than before, less precise. It crawled across her skin, dark veins running through it like cracks in glass. Then, heat. A pulse of warmth surged through the ice, distorting it. Blackened edges curled inward, melting and freezing at once. She clenched her hand. The magic collapsed. "Black ice," she whispered. Silence fell between them. Neither needed to say it. They had not just been cursed. They had been altered. The door creaked open. Master Helvar entered, his heavy boots echoing against the stone floor. His expression was darker than Lyriel had ever seen it. "You're awake," he said. Neither of them responded. He didn't seem surprised. "The crystal is gone," he continued. "Or rather, it no longer exists in a stable form." Kale let out a dry laugh. "Let me guess. It's inside us." Helvar didn't answer. Which was answer enough. Lyriel's chest tightened. "That's not possible," she said. "Light crystals don't split?" Helvar interrupted. "No, they don't." He stepped closer. "And yet, here we are." Kale swung his legs off the cot, ignoring the sharp intake of breath from his own body as pain followed the movement. "So what does that mean?" he asked. "We're walking artifacts now?" Helvar's gaze hardened. "It means you're unstable." Lyriel forced herself upright. The moment she did, Kale winced. She froze. "You felt that," she said. He nodded slowly. "Yeah," he muttered. "Like someone shoved a blade through my ribs." Lyriel's pulse quickened. "I didn't touch you." "I know." Helvar's silence grew heavier. "You're linked," he said finally. "More deeply than I've ever seen." Kale frowned. "Define deeply." Helvar met his gaze. "If one of you dies," he said, "the other won't survive it." The words settled like ash. Lyriel stared at Kale. Kale stared at her. Neither spoke. Because neither needed to. The meaning was clear. They were no longer two. They didn't stay in the infirmary. Not for long. By nightfall, they were moved, quietly, discreetly, to a sealed chamber beneath the collegiate. No windows. No open doors. Runes etched into every surface, glowing faintly with containment magic. "Precaution. Or imprisonment. Feels welcoming," Kale muttered as the door shut behind them with a heavy thud. Lyriel ignored him. She paced the room, her bare feet silent against the stone. "I need to understand this," she said. "There has to be a pattern. A structure. Kale leaned against the wall, watching her. You always talk like that? He asked. Yes. Must be exhausting. She stopped, turned. You think this is a joke? No, he said. I think it's a problem. Then act like it. I am, he replied calmly. I'm figuring out how to survive it. She narrowed her eyes. And your plan is? Kale smirked faintly. Not dying. Lyriel opened her mouth to retort, then froze. The room grew colder. Not her doing. Not entirely. Kale stiffened. You feel that? She nodded slowly. The bond pulsed. Something shifted. A sound echoed from beyond the walls. Soft, measured footsteps. But no one was supposed to be down here. The runes flared faintly. Then, flickered. Kale straightened. That's not good. Lyriel stepped closer to the door. Stay behind me, she said. He raised an eyebrow. I throw fire, remember? Not like before, she said sharply. Before he could respond, the door opened. The figure that stepped inside did not belong. Not to the collegiate. Not to any place Lyriel recognized. Tall, cloaked, face hidden behind a mask of smooth, dark metal etched with faint, shifting lines. The air around them warped slightly, as if reality itself hesitated in their presence. Kale's flames flickered instinctively. What the hell is that? He muttered. The figure tilted its head. You are incomplete, it said. The voice was wrong, layered, distant, as if spoken from somewhere else entirely. Lyriel stepped forward. Who are you? The figure ignored the question. The crystal fractured, it continued. But not as intended. Kale's eyes narrowed. Intended by who? The figure's gaze shifted to him. By those who seek balance, it said. Lyriel felt something twist in her chest. Balance? She repeated. You call this balance? The figure took a step closer. The runes dimmed further. You are unstable variables, it said. That cannot be allowed. Kale's flames surged, then froze. White fire crackled along his arms, unstable, flickering between heat and cold. Try it, he said, voice low. The figure did not hesitate. It raised its hand, and the air bent. Lyriel reacted instantly. Frost surged outward, forming a barrier. But it wasn't pure. Black veins spread through it, warping its shape. The attack struck. Not physical, not magical in any way she understood. The barrier cracked. Reality itself seemed to press against it, trying to erase it entirely. Lyriel gasped. Kale stepped forward. Their bond flared. Pain lanced through both of them. Then something else. Instinct. Without thinking, they moved together. Kale's white flames surged. Lyriel's black ice answered. The two forces collided and fused. A blast of unstable magic erupted outward, forcing the masked figure back for the first time. The chamber shook. Runes shattered. The figure paused, studying them. Interesting, it said. Kale grinned, breath ragged. Yeah, he muttered. We're getting that a lot. The figure lowered its hand. This is not your end, it said. Not yet. Lyriel's eyes narrowed. What does that mean? The figure stepped back toward the door. It means, it said, you are being watched. Then, it vanished. Not moved. Not retreated. Gone. As if it had never been there. Silence crashed down. The chamber was ruined. Runes dimmed. Stone cracked. The containment broken. Kale exhaled slowly. Well, he said, that could have gone worse. Lyriel didn't respond. She stared at the space where the figure had stood. They weren't here to kill us, she said. No, Kale agreed. Just to check on us. Her stomach turned. Like we're experiments. Kale glanced at her. Or weapons. The word lingered. Heavy. Unwanted. True. The bond pulsed again. Stronger this time. Lyriel staggered. Kale caught her before she fell. Their eyes met. For a moment, the world narrowed. Their magic surged together, uncontrolled, unstable. White flames. Black ice. Entwined. Lyriel's breath caught. This isn't stabilizing, she whispered. Kale's grip tightened. No, he said quietly. It's getting worse. The air around them warped again. Not from an outside force. From them. From the bond. From the broken crystal inside their souls. Lyriel felt it then. Deep. Terrifying. A truth she could not ignore. This will kill us, she said. Kale didn't argue. Because he felt it too. The instability. The growth. The inevitability. But beneath that, something else. A pull. A direction. The bond wasn't just breaking them. It was leading them somewhere. Somewhere neither of them understood. Kale exhaled slowly. Then we don't stay here, he said. Lyriel looked at him. For once, she said, we agree. They turned toward the shattered doorway. Toward the unknown. Toward whatever had been. Watching them from the shadows. And as they stepped out, high above the collegiate, more figures gathered. Silent. Hidden. Waiting. Because the fusion had begun. And it would not stop. Until only one remained. End of episode 2. Come back next week for episode 3.